Hello, this is Raymond Fu from EMS Now here at Nepcon China in Shanghai. Today I'm joined by Erhard Hofmann. He's the Managing Director of AdoptSMT. Welcome, Erhard.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here.
Erhard, could you tell us a little bit more about the business that you do regarding pre-owned equipment and spare parts and consumables?
Yes, maybe let me start by introducing the company group AdoptSMT.
Sure.
We have 5 companies in Europe, and so also the main company is called AdoptSMT Europe GmbH, and we are serving the European market both with pre-owned equipment for the PCB assembly process and also with spare parts and consumables also for the PCB assembly process.
Right.
And we are here now in Shanghai for one reason, to meet our partners here. We do have a network of partners for our pre-owned equipment business. We usually supply pre-owned equipment which was used in Europe to Asia, to partners here who then sell on to the end customers.
Right.
And we are meeting some of these partners here. It is very convenient because many of them are here at the show. And
do you see increasing demand for pre-owned equipment, especially in China, in the last few years?
The demand did grow a few years ago, and since then I see it as stable, but on a rather high level.
Right. Okay. And has there been any external factors that has affected this market, perhaps in terms of currencies and the euro crisis and all that? Any external economic factors that have affected the pre-owned equipment market?
There were of course some effects in 2008. Back then, as you know, the equipment sales for new equipment dropped dramatically. Mm-hmm. And also for pre-owned equipment, the sales did drop back then, but not as bad as for new equipment. And also what we saw back then was that Asia recovered a lot faster than Europe and North America. And so especially when Asia came back up, we did sell quite a lot of equipment especially in China. And since then I see the market pretty stable. There are of course influences that whenever there's a dip in the economy, that new equipment suppliers tend to give bigger discounts.
Right.
And this of course we also feel in the pre-owned equipment market.
Right. And picking up on that, of course, cost of manufacturing is very expensive in Europe, and manufacturers are looking for good quality spare parts and consumables, perhaps at a better price point. Would you say that your role in China is to so-called source for these good suppliers for the European market?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yes, exactly. We have a very strong customer base in Europe coming from the pre-owned equipment business.
Right.
But we are using this strong base now also to supply consumables and spare parts to our European customers. And the focus is especially to supply quality parts to our customers. European customers are very strict about the quality they expect. Labor cost is a lot more expensive in Europe, and so when there is a machine breakdown because a spare part did not work, it costs the customer a lot, and this just cannot happen. And therefore we do not just buy parts in China and supply directly to our customers, but we qualify our suppliers, and we have a quality department checking the spare parts and the consumables we receive before we ship out to the end customer. So we are adding value, but of course we also do need suppliers with consistent quality, so that we really only have to check but not to correct every time.
Right. And so far, how has the search been going? The status of looking for good suppliers?
We are already working with some Chinese suppliers who do deliver very good quality and very consistent quality. But for some additional parts, we are still looking for consistent, good quality. It happened a few times that we did receive good parts for a while, but then the quality dropped, and we had to take the parts out of our program again because we just cannot sell on parts which are not 100% okay to our customers.
And in which area of the SMT process are most of these people in Europe or manufacturers in Europe looking for in terms of spare parts? I would assume perhaps for feeders, in pick and place equipment and stuff like that.
Yes, consumable spare parts for pick and place equipment is a big thing, of course. That means nozzles for the different makes of pick and place machines. Also feeder spare parts is something that often is required. For Siemens machines or C-place machines, there is another consumable spare part, the valve plunger. And another process where we supply consumables is for the stencil printing.
Yes.
We supply the cleaning molds.
Right. And does ADOP have any partnerships with some of these big equipment manufacturers like Siemens and other companies regarding spare parts qualification and technical training and service and support, things like that?
We do not have a dedicated partnership with one of these companies now because in Europe it would also be seen this way, that if we have a partnership, a strategic partnership with one of the SMT manufacturers, that the others would see us as competition. We have a good relationship with all of the pick and place manufacturers. We do get technical support from them. We have for some makes factory trained service engineers employed at our facilities. And some of them are of course still in contact with their former colleagues at the machine manufacturers. So we do have a good relationship with the machine manufacturers, but it is of course also not always in the interest of the machine manufacturer to qualify spare parts of an external source, because they obviously also have to look to sell their spare parts.
Right. Okay, thank you very much, Erhard, for sharing some of your activities in China.
Well, thank you for giving me the chance to do so.